Spider-Man Miles Morales. Let's be real, this game is just a glorified DLC, but it does kind of suit like a smaller, cheaper spin-off game that they could have released for like $40. I'm pretty sure from memory that it was full price when it came out, because I remember I wanted to get it, but it was way too expensive. I was like, I'm not paying $100 in Australia to play a game that's 6 hours long, 11 if you do all the side content. And like, I'm not a huge fan of like New Game Plus. I will New Game Plus a game like a year after I've played it. The PS5 version was free, so I downloaded the PS5 version, I gave it a go, and I wanted to see if you guys wanted to join me to swing around New York City and talk about this very good, bad game. That's what I'll say. And it's only bad for one reason, but I will get to that very soon. What is Spider-Man Miles Morales? So essentially we follow the second Spider-Man of New York, Miles, who was bitten in the previous game and now has Spider-Man powers. And when you start out, he's a bit of a rookie. He's being trained by Peter, but then Peter Parker, the original Spider-Man, goes to Europe with Mary Jane on a nice little vacation, which after the events of the first game, he really deserves. I'm gonna be honest. That game was horrifying, just with sadness. Like, it was just sad. Anyway, so Peter goes to Europe, and thus Miles has to look after New York City by himself. Essentially, a group of hippies rock up. Yes, a group of hippies with purple laser guns, and Miles has to defeat them. They're called the Underground, and they're run by this menacing, very short menacing person called, I think, the Tinkerer from memory. And that kind of links in with Miles, because it always links in with Miles, or like the protagonist, or the superhero. It always does. The story is simple, but for the experience that it is, and to introduce Miles as a playable character, to then slowly build up to Spider-Man 2, which is about to come out, it works. It's simple, sweet, and it hits that spot. But the emotional moments, specifically in the middle and the end of the story and the game, are really well done. They're well animated. The actors do a really great job. The cinematography is like perfect, and like you do feel very invested to Miles and his story. His relationship with also his mum, his uncle, who's the Prowler, and Genki is great. I think Genki specifically is really, really well done in this game, and his relationship with his mum is really good. You feel that they've lost everything, and the only thing that's keeping them together is the love for each other and the support that they want to provide for one another. And it's really the most emotional element, I think, of the story is him and his mum. Miles is played by Nadji Jeter. I believe that's how you pronounce it. He does an excellent job. I think he's pretty much on par with the voice actor from the Spider-Verse films. I think he does a really great job of expressing Miles's anger and frustrations, but also his kind of quippy joy and kind of foolishness. Genki is voiced by Griffin Huata. He's great. I think he's literally the best voice actor in the game. He has a certain charm to him. I don't know what it is, but I'm happy when he calls me to like hack into something. Because every time he calls you and he has some stupid joke to say, or he's just so supportive. He's the friend you need. That should be the slogan of the game. Genki, the friend you need. And everyone's like, what is a Genki? Is that like a cucumber or something? Oh yeah, also Ashley Burke is in this game. Ashley Burke nowadays is in like every game almost. She's essentially becoming the Troy Baker of female voice actors. But she's great. She plays some radio host that's like, don't forget to drink your water. Oh yeah, also the bridge scene. But there's a scene in the middle of the game with a bridge, and it is probably some of the best Spider-Man we've ever had. It is so good. It's thrilling. The way that Miles kind of stuffs up, but then has to get better at it, and like continually has to like learn really quickly during the bridge scene is phenomenal. It's so cool. The open world. It's New York City, just like the first game, but it's in the snow. And there are some variation to this. The world is slightly different with how they've animated some of the cranes and some of the buildings, but predominantly it's quite the same. It looks fantastic on PS5. Miles' swinging animation is slightly different. It's sloppier and kind of more, I would even say, like, pathetic in comparison to the suave athleticism. That's not a word. Athleticism? Is that a word? Anyway, of, the glory of Peter Parker swinging around, knowing what he's doing. Miles is kind of awkward, but his tricks and stuff are really cool. You also have his venom abilities, which come in handy when you're swinging, because then you have a reason to do the tricks, and that helps you move faster. It's very clever. I'll give Insomniac that. Very clever system. Great work. The side missions feel good throughout the open world. There are different types of side missions. There's like smaller side missions and then like main side missions. The smaller ones are good. They're nice, they're sweet. Some take 5 minutes, some take 20. They do their job and they're fun and they're different and they're interesting. The main side missions are really good because you get to learn about Harlem and the people that live there. And not only Miles' interactions with them, but also Spider-Man's interactions with them, with how they don't accept him at first, but then over time, and this is in the main story as well, but over time, they're like, oh, this is our Spider-Man. I think that's really well done. There's also a deaf girl named Haley, and her relationship with Miles, both as Spider-Man and as himself, so good. We need more, I wouldn't say more representation like this, but we need more characters that are built like this. It's not like she's deaf because they wanted to make a political statement. It feels like her character belongs in this story, and I really, really liked that. I think overall, it kind of reminds me of the musical Into the Heights, which is also a film. That has like this overall atmosphere and community that gets built with the Latino community, and that's what it feels like with Spider-Man and the Harlem community in this game. The big issue, it's Finn. It's Finn. Finn is Miles' best friend, and spoiler, it's obvious that it's her, but she turns out to be the Tinkerer. And she is probably one of the worst characters of all time. I hate her. She's just a hypocrite. I think that's her worst problem. She's always angry about things that she does herself. She's played really well by Jasmine Savoy Brown. She does a great job. She really does. She's emotional when she needs to be emotional, and she sells all of her scenes perfectly. So no quarrels to the actor. I think she does a really good job. It's just this character is terribly written, and I swear to God, this is her. She's like, oh my God, Miles, why would you lie to me that you're Spider-Man? You lied to him about being the Tinkerer. And then she's like, oh, I need to defeat the bad guys so they don't hurt anyone. Oh, how's she going to defeat them? By becoming a terrorist and blowing up a bridge. Well, actually, she didn't mean to blow up a bridge, but she did. She was going to blow up Harlem. What? Oh, they hurt my brother, so I have to hurt them before they hurt other people, so I'm going to blow up half of New York. Okay, so her and Miles are like, it's like Peter and Harry. They're best friends. They grew up together. She almost kills him over a disagreement. I swear to you, she like beats the shit out of him, which I don't know how she won. And then she almost kills him, and Genki has to leave his freaking computer chair and save him before he gets run over by a train. Ah, Finn, man, I hate this character so much. This is like one of the reasons I wanted to make this video, is because I hate her. I don't know what it is with this whole new movement of like making these new like female characters that are like strong and independent, but then they just write them terribly and they come off as like just horrible people. The gameplay, yeah, it's the same as the first game. But it's smoother. I feel it's just a little bit tighter. The fighting is really fun. There's nothing more satisfying when someone swings at you and you slide under them. That's great. The venom abilities do add some more like complexity with the fighting. However, I kind of forgot about them. Every now and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I have these other abilities that I can use. The one where you jump and you punch the ground, that is the most satisfying ability. Because when you get like a group of enemies around you and you use that attack, mwah, chef's kiss. It's beautiful. It works. Oh, and the bosses. The bosses are really good. So obviously you fight the Tinkerer, but you also fight Prowler, which is a great fight because he uses all of his abilities against you, and you have to try and figure out how to like defeat him. And then also you fight Rhino like 6 times, but it's a good fight. Both of them. Both fights, fantastic. It just works, and it's like, he's a very intimidating villain for a video game. Finally, the ending. Yeah, sure. It works. I feel for Miles, and I feel for his community, and I feel happy and sad for him at the same time, which is, I think, what they wanted. I like the bit where he's essentially going to sacrifice himself to save Harlem. That's a really beautiful moment. I think they executed it really well. Like I said, during the bridge scene, the visuals are stunning and it looks really good. But overall, it does prep you for the next Spider-Man, because you get an end credit scene and it's like, I see Doc Connors. I know who Dr. Connors is. I'm a nerd. But yeah, that is my video on Spider-Man Miles Morales. I may make another one on the first game, one day I will be playing Spider-Man 2. I love these games. I would say they're as good as Arkham. If you have thoughts on Finn or this game in general, let me know. Eager to hear you guys. I will be swinging around my backyard with plastic webbing. But yeah, thank you for watching. Take care. Goodbye.